With that, we say hello and welcome to the second of the Mount Hood Saints here at Delta Park as we move from Field 2 to Field 5, and we move from playing the 15 seed Columbia Basin Hawks against the Mount Hood Saints. Columbia Basin 6 against the 7th seed Treasure Valley. They come back and win that game by a final of 8-7. They advance in the winners bracket as well. So the game here between the Saints and the Hawks, both teams won their respective first games. Starting lineup, starting with the visiting team, Columbia Basin Hawks, be number 8, Alexis Blankenship, followed by number 6, number 17, Lauren Crick will follow her. Batting fourth will be number 5, Bree Waldron. Batting sixth will be number 7, Kate. Batting seventh will be number 20, Baylor. Batting eighth will be number 11, Peyton. Number 9 will be number 16, Anna Marie Schaefer. Fielders for the Saints, Bella Carrazzo once again starting Hood. Izzy Brockmiller is behind the plate. We also have Peyton Foreman at third, Madison Walker at second, Sarah Martin at third, Gina Allen at short, and then the outfield, Hope Burke at left, Ava Carroll in center, and Brenna Wilson in right. For game 2 between Mount Hood and Columbia, Razzo gets ready and fires the first pitch in there just outside for ball 1. Umpires for today's game behind the plate and base umpires Willie Newman and Faith Hebert at third. 1-0 the count here on Blankenship, as that one is just a bit upstairs as well. Mount Hood comes off an 8-3 win against the number 15 seed Yakima Valley Yaks. They started this tournament with a win, something they did not do last year. 7-3 in game 1 to Lower Columbia, who are all today, as that one is in there for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Blankenship, sophomore from Coeur d'Alene, now faces a 2-1 count as Carrazzo fires it, and that one is just up high, and it's 3. These two teams met twice in the regular season and crossover games. They defeated Columbia Basin in 5 innings and 10-1 in 6 back on March the 3rd. Carrazzo fires, and that one is popped up, and that one's going to get out of play, and now the count is full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, the count here on Blankenship. The third baseman. As the Hawks and Saints clash for the 3rd time this year. 2nd time in 2 years they have met in the tournament. And it's for Alexis Blankenship. So Carrazzo walks her first batter, as that'll bring us to number 2 in the lineup, Stephanie Bryson, the sophomore from Caldwell, Idaho. Center fielder. Has a runner on. Would like to maybe get her to advance a little bit. That one is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Hawks are led by their head coach, Calafino, as she stands there at third base, as the bunt is foul, and it's 0-2. Assistant coaches Amanda Larson, Joe Cheevers, Amanda Brown, and Kenzie Lowry. Mount Hood, of course, led by their head coach, Brittany Hendrickson. And assistants Taylor Gould, Kayla Gron, and Ryan Snouts. 0-2 pitch up high, and the throwback to first is not in time, as it looked like it came there very fast. But sliding back in there is Blankenship, and she stays there. So now the count 1 and 2 here on Bryce. Carrazzo makes an adjustment, gets ready, and now sets and delivers. The 1-2 swing and a miss, struck her out for out number 1. So a key strikeout there for Bella Carrazzo, getting 1 down here in the top half of the first inning. First, she is the only runner aboard because of the leadoff. Lauren Crick, freshman from Tacoma, Washington. Third batter in the lineup as she second, and they got her. A beautiful snipe by Izzy Brockmiller. Gets it to second base. And the tag applied there for out number 2. Caught stealing. Oh, no, you didn't. 2 outs here in the top of the first, and the Saints get all the base runners off. One pitch, swing and a dribbler to Allen. She's going to throw it to first, and that will retire the side. So the Saints end up going 1-2-3 in the top half of the first as we go to the bottom half. Saints bats here in this game, still scoreless. Ava Carroll, Izzy Brockman, 3 coming up for the Mount Hood Saints. Same lineup they had back in game number 1 against Yakima Valley. Ava Carroll went 3 for 4 with 3 singles and a ground out. Izzy Brockmiller went 1 for 4 with a single, a fly out, a strikeout, and a ground out. And Madison Walker went 0 for 3 with a ground out and 2 flyouts. 3 of them looking to maybe improve a little bit here in this second game as Mount Hood gets their first crack on the bats here in this 2B10 matchup. Some notables from earlier today. Columbia Basin is the opponent here for Mount Hood. They took care of Treasure Valley by a final of 8-7. So Treasure Valley and Yakima Valley, who Mount Hood defeated, they are playing right now over on field number 3. On field number 2, we have another consolation bracket game between Walla Walla and Chemeketa. Both those teams lost. Walla Walla lost to Wenatchee Valley, and Chemeketa lost to Southwest Oregon. So actually over on field 4, right next to us, we have that game going on between number 3 and number 6, Lakers and Wenatchee Valley Knights. So some other notable games that are going on right now as well. We had that go on. We have some games at 6 o'clock. Winner of those. It's going to be a fun day of softball this weekend, and all weekend it should be pretty fun to see at the tournament. We'll probably say goodbye to a couple of these teams after today and more after tomorrow. Hopefully for the Mount Hood Saints, they will be here through the end of their season on Friday of last season. Only made it day 2. Ava Carroll had a ball to start off, and now she fouls one back, and now it's 1-1. Winner will advance to play at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow on field number 4. As we get a 1-1. She bunts that one, and that one's fair, and that one is going to be at first. So she went for the bunt, could not get there in time, and there's one away. Play on field 3 at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Opponents still to be determined. Winner of this game will get the winner of Wenatchee Valley and Southwest Oregon. So Roberts win. It should be a rematch of Mount Hood against Southwest Oregon. It's ball 1 on the inside. Brockmiller bats 436. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. In the set, fires the pitch. Strike, and it's 2-1. On the mound for the Hawks is number 79, Escalera, as Brockmiller hits that one to third. Throw to first, not to be there. And Brockmiller with a 1-out single. So she is safely aboard on first, as that brings up Matt. It was a tough play at third base. Catcher had to, third base player had to turn. Could not throw it in time. It's Madison Walker. That's a base hit. Brockmiller rounds second. She will stay there as Matt goes to first. And now the Saints have 2 aboard with only 1 gone. Gina Allen went 2 for 3 in game 1 with a single run. She also grounded out as she takes ball 1 low. And the count 1-0. 1-0 count as she lifts that one up into right field. That one back towards the short, and the catch is going to be made there in right field. As Brockmiller takes third, Walker will stay at first, and there's 2 down. So the catch out there by Rock Almiera, as now that brings up Peyton Foreman. For 3 in game 1 with a single and 2 flyouts. First pitch to her, ball 1. One-0 count here on Foreman. Jasmine Barella would be the next batter if we get there. Ball 2 down in the dirt. Two balls, no strikes to count here on Peyton Foreman. Runners up high, 3 balls, no strikes. Izzy Brockmiller 60 feet away on third base. Madison Walker on first. Peyton Foreman will try to drive in the first run of the game. And the pitch. One is a 4th pitch walk, and that'll load the bases. So now that'll bring up Jasmine Barella. Now bases are loaded for the Saints. Brockmiller on third, Walker on second, on first. Barella went 1 for 3 against Yakima Valley, 2 flyouts and a single. As the first pitch here is lifted into left field, way back, but way foul. That had the distance to go onto field 4, but if it is again, to apologize to Southwest Oregon because we hit 3 balls into their first game when we were playing earlier today. 0-1 on Barella, and that one is in the dirt, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike to count here on Barella. Brockmiller on second, Foreman on first. Saints trying to open the scoring here in game 2 as that one lifted into left, and no doubt, it's caught at left field. Almost a grand slam, but denied by Laura Nick. And that will end the inning. So Barella might have had a grand slam, but at the wall, it's caught. And after one, it's Mount Hood nothing, Columbia Basin nothing. Columbia Basin went 3 up and 3 down. The next 3 batters, we have Bree Waldron, Raquel Palmiera, and Kaylee Christopher. Off here in the second. Columbia Basin, the 10 seed in this tournament, ended with a record of 20 and 26, 11 and 17 in conference play. They ended 6th in the Eastern Division as they took their first game today, defeating Treasure Valley 8-7, advancing the season. As the first pitch to Waldron is lifted, Gina Allen makes the catch at short, and there's one down. Raquel Palmiera, the first from Kailua, Hawaii. As Carrazzo sets, fires, tied for ball one. Palmiera, a 447 average, 55 hits this season. Looking to maybe make it 56, although not sure how had in the first game against Treasure Valley, as that one taken for ball two. Just a bit high, and the count 2-0. One gone here in the top of the second between Mount Hood and Columbia Basin. As Barella gets set, and she delivers it, and that one inside, 3 balls, no strikes. Three balls, 2 balls and a strike, actually, the count, and is down low, and it's 3-1. Three and one, the count here on Palmiera. Nobody on, one out. And that one in there for a called strike, and the count full. Three and two, the count here. Barella gets set. I'm sorry, Carrazzo gets set. And fires the pitch. Swing! We're out, 2 down. So that'll bring up Kaylee Christopher, the freshman from, again, not too far from where we are here in North Portland. Happy Valley, probably just about half hour south of here. Probably a little bit more now because traffic getting to Delta Park is horrible. First pitch to her on the way is down the middle for a called strike. And the count 0-1. Oh, and 1 the count here. And the pitch. up high, and it's 1-1. Whoever is kind of confusing me because I marked the count as 1-1. I had 2 pitches so far, but the scoreboard shows 3-1. I don't know why. Now they changed it. So now it's 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Foul, and it's 1-2. This is why it's important to track it yourself because you can never trust other people. Nah. Kim is doing it, so got to give her credit. Fantastic athletic director Kim Hyatt, part of the event staff here at Delta Park. She's doing a fantastic job running this tournament 2 straight years now. 1-2 up high, and now 2-2. There was a hesitation to bring the tournament back to Delta Park this year because the weather in Portland is so iffy this time of year. Fields may not be dry. They actually held the tournament in Spokane a few years ago just because of how bad the weather was. Is that one? The last year, the tournament was at the park, and it was really hot, but it was really nice. Kind of the same this year. The weather has kind of improved. So we get these dry Mays. It just starts raining in June. So it's always fantastic to be here in Portland, but just glad to be here with you this weekend. Hopefully, as far as Mount Hood will go. As that one is dribbled down the line, foul, and once again, she will have another crack at it. Count remains 2-2. It's kind of turning into kind of a cool night or late afternoon as we approach 4 o'clock Pacific time. All these teams are in the same time zone. Nobody comes from the Mountain Time Zone. As that one is popped back foul, and we'll do it again. But you just think weather has improved over the last week, so allowing the fields to dry out and for this tournament to be held once again. And the weather is really promising this weekend. It's supposed to be really nice. Not supposed to be too hot, so NWAC softball. 2-2 the pitch. High and the count full. As the lights on here on field 5 as it's getting a little shady here. Even though we stay dark until about 9 o'clock now. It's getting pretty shady over here on field 5. 3-2 pitch. Dribbled up the line. Madison Walker is going to make the play. She throws to first, and it's not in time. It's a 2-out single for Kaylee Christopher. And the Hawks not done yet. All those foul balls make Carrazzo work on the mound. Turns into a single. So now 1 runner aboard for Columbia Basin with 2 down here in the top of the second as that brings up the sophomore from West Richland. She pops that one up and just out of reach of first baseman Peyton Foreman. Foul. Carrazzo went 5 innings last game. She starts off the game, and that one outside, ball 1. So far, no score. Mount Hood scored in the bottom of the first as that one is swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Saints scored a couple in the first inning in their first game against Yakima Valley. Never lost the lead and defeated the Yaks 8-3 to advance to this game against the Hawks. Came from behind and won their game as that one up high, 2-2. These two teams met the tournament last year. Mount Hood got on field 3. That was the second game on Friday afternoon. a very intense battle between these two teams as that one fouled back. So the count remains 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 in the second. Back into the dugout. Hawks looking to keep this at bat alive. Hassenbiller. And that one is in there for a called strike, and she strikes out looking, and that will retire the side here in the second. So we go to the bottom half of the second, still scoreless, as the Mount Hood Saints do up Hope Burke, Sarah Martin, and Brenna. So now we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Saints and Hawks still scoreless, as we still wait to determine who will break the ice here in Game 11 of the tournament. Wenatchee Valley and Southwest Oregon going on right now on field number 4. Over on field 3, we have Yakima Valley and Treasure Valley. And over on field 2, we have Wall taking on Chemeketa. We'll get you some more scores once we have them. We'll get updates on who won earlier today, just as we go along. We'll say goodbye to a couple of teams. 4 teams will leave this park today to not return. We'll have some more games for you tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time. And we have today, 6 o'clock, some late games. Mount Hood had a late game last against Spokane, in which went extra innings, and they won that one 9-8 on Alexi Gary walk-off ground rule double. Hope Burke to start it off on pitch number 1. And now catcher and pitcher going to have a word as our home plate umpire, Shane Bokendogan, cleans off home. And Hope Burke will step back into the box, ready for pitch number 2. As that one is up high, 1-1. One ball, one strike here on Hope Burke. Bottom 2, no score. The pitch in there for a called strike, 1-2. They have a camera up above the in this field along with field 4. I know field 4 where the main games and the championship game will be played. Hope Burke swings and misses, strikes out for out number 1. So now Sarah Martin back in game 1, followed by a strikeout. So she went 2 for 3. You can watch all the tournament games that are streaming on the NWAC Sports Network. Just go to .com. First pitch to Sarah Martin is for a strike, and it's 0-1. And you can listen to all the Mount Hood games live here on my YouTube. be here with you as long as Mount Hood stays in the tournament. Inside 1-1 now on Sarah Martin. Next pitch to Sarah Martin is lifted to shortstop. It's going to be made. It falls out of the glove, but I believe she was just in the process of making the move. So it remains an out, and there's two gone. So Brenna Wilson will try to keep the Saints out as she gets a word of advice from Sarah Martin of what to expect. First appearance at the plate for Brenna Wilson today. Did not play one. First pitch is outside, ball one. Next, if Brenna Wilson survives, Ava Carroll would follow her. 1-0 the count here on Wilson. As the pitch is popped up into right field and coming on to make the catch, and the catch is going to be made as that one is corralled. And that will end the inning. So the Saints 3 in the second and will be at the top of the lineup when they return in the third. But after 2, it's Mount Hood nothing, Columbia Basin nothing. The 2024 NWAC Softball Championship Tournament is hosted by Chemeketa Community College, Clackamas Community College, and your Mount Hood Saints Community. They are the 3 host teams in this tournament, as they were as well last year. The NWAC Softball Championship Tournament is brought to you by Sport Oregon, Travel Portland, Portland Parks and Rec, Huddle, Devo, Baden, Hiff Jones, and Field Level. 16 teams come into Delta Park on Thursday, and only one will win the day. As we find out who it is as we press forward through this end of the week into the weekend in Portland. For the Hawks will be number 11, Peyton Dressler. Carrazzo on the mound once again for the Saints. As she fires the first pitch in there, and that one is just a bit outside. Dressler is a 250 average. She's only got 5 hits on the season. And the 1-0 is popped out, play, foul, and well onto the concession stand. And by one of the patrons out there, but went off his hand. So 1-1 the count here now on Dressler. As we still have no score here. Number 3. Fires, and that one is up high, ball 2. Here on Dressler. Saints infield playing in a little bit as the pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss, 2-2. As a team, Columbia Basin 2-2 here is up high, and the count full now on Dressler. They have 418 this season. Probably more considering they already played a game earlier today. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Struck her out for out number 1. with her 4th strikeout of the game. Keeps the Hawks off base here in the 3rd as that brings up number 16, the designated player for the freshman from Kennewick. First pitch to her up high, ball 1. Want to know the count here. 1 gone here in the top of the 3rd in a scoreless game. Swing and a miss, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, and 1 on Schaefer, and the pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Has some nice pink bows that stand out. One under her helmet, one on her long braid. Miss, 2 down. Back to strikeouts, both swinging. Bella Carrazzo records strikeout number 5 here in this game, as that will bring up top of the lineup with Alexis Blankenship. Knocked back in the 1st inning. See what she can do here in the 3rd as she lifts that one up high, and calling for it is Allen, and that will retire the side. So once again, the Hawks down 1-2-3 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still a scoreless game between the Saints and Columbia Basin. Ava Carroll, Izzy Brockmiller, Madison Walker turn to the top of the lineup here in the bottom half of the 3rd. Still scoring here in game 11 of this NWAC softball championship tournament. Carroll is lifted well out of play. Oh for 1 thus far as she was out on a bunt. She now once again as she gets ready to fire, and that one dribbled into center field, a base hit for Carroll. Rounding first, she's going to stay there. And a leadoff single to start the 3rd for the Saints. She had 3 of those in the game against Yakima Valley. She has done it a 4th time for the first time against Columbia. Brockmiller in the 1st. It was a tough play for the. As she beat the throw out. Bunting is Brockmiller, but foul on its own 1. For second, now she heads back. Brockmiller now 0-1. As the next pitch to her is pulled back and up high, ball one. She's gone for the bunt twice now. Got a piece of the first one, pulls back just in time on the second. So now 1 ball, 1 strike the count here on Brockmiller. Carroll still on first. Brockmiller pulls back, ball 2, throw back to first. Two balls, 1 strike here on Izzy Brockmiller. 1 for 1 thus far in this game. As she gets ready and takes that one inside for a called strike, and it's 2-2. Side pitches. They like to be called. And it's called again here on Brockmiller. 2 balls. Nobody out in the bottom of the third with a runner on. The pitch. And that one coming right back here. And that one almost been. So now we'll do it again. 2-2. Carroll on first. The only runner aboard. Brockmiller with a 2-2. As she lifts shortstop. Play is throw to first. Not in time. And the Saints have 2 aboard. 2 for 2 is Brockmiller with 2 singles to start this game. As she sends Ava Carroll to on first and second with nobody out. As that brings her. Single back in the first. As she fouls the first. 0-1. No balls and a strike. The count here on is the pitch. Fouls that one back again, and it's 0-2. Back-to-back fouls for Madison Walker. Now she steps back out of the box. Is ready again. And now steps back in. No balls, 2 strikes to count here with 2 on. Nobody out. Swing and a miss for out number 1 as Walker strikes out swinging. So that brings up Gina Allen. She had a home run 1 against Yakima Valley. She flew out to right field back in the first. She tries to perhaps drive in a few runs here with only 1 out as she fouls the first pitch back, just like Madison Walker did, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 1 the count here. First and double play as Miller on her way to second as that one goes first. And the first base player steps right back on the bag to get the out on the double play as we go to the fourth. Still scoreless between Mount Hood and Columbia Basin. Saints fans, softball is on Game Changer. You can follow along with live scores, live stats, and during the regular season, live video, courtesy of just look up Mount Hood Softball on Game Changer. Leading off here in the top of the fourth is number 6, Stephanie Bryson. She will be followed by Lauren Crick and Bree Waldron, as we still have no in this game between the Saints and the Hawks. Carrazzo fires the first pitch inside for ball 1. One and 0 the count here on Bryson as Carrazzo fires it, and that one is popped foul, and it's 1-1. One ball, one strike to count here. And that one popped foul, 1-2. One ball, two strikes to count here on Bryson, and the pitch up high, 2-2. Carrazzo sets, fires the 2-2, popped up. Backing up is Walker, but it's into right field, and Brennan Wilson makes the catch for out number 1. So that brings up Lauren Crick. 0 for 1 thus far with a ground out to shortstop. As we remain scoreless here in the second game of the day for both these teams. It's the final game of the day for both these teams, as the first pitch is taken upstairs for ball 1. Winner of this game gets the winner of Southwest Oregon and Wenatchee Valley. That game will be at 12:30 on Field 4 tomorrow. It's Mount Hood with their public address announcer, Albert Hensley, as that one is taken outside. Ball 2. He was disappointed he didn't get to be with us for game 1 or here for game 2. But if the Saints keep winning, play the rest of the tournament on that field, and it's there, 2-1. Special thanks to Albert Hensley for providing me score updates on the games going on field number 4. Valley and Southwest Oregon. So once I hear from him, update there, we will relay it to you as that comes in live. 2-1 pitch popped up, and that one is going to be played for and for out number 2. Up 2 down for the Hawks here in the 4th. That brings up Bree Waldron, the sophomore, or the freshman from first pitch here with 2 outs is some claps of enthusiasm coming from Montessa Calafino, head coach of Columbia Basin, standing at third base. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 gone here in the top of the 4th. Still no as Carrazzo fires, and that one is just a bit high. 2-1. Carrazzo sets. Larson bats 336. Swing. Oh. Somebody's bound to break through here in this game. And the Saints are a pitch away from going back to the batting lineup. Lifted foul. And that one hit. So we'll run 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Carrazzo sets. Pitch. Popped up. Walker's got it. And that'll end the side. So we go to the bottom half of the 4th. Hawks nothing. It's a tight one, folks. Don't go away. Peyton Foreman leads things off here in the bottom of the 4th with still no score. Jasmine Barella, Hope Burke, and Sarah Martin follow her as the first pitch is lifted up, and calling for it is the pitcher. So Sierra Escalera, freshman pitcher from Nampa, Idaho, makes that catch for out number 1. Barella and then Hope Burke. Sarah Martin would be. The Saints don't go 3 up, 3 down like the Hawks did in the top half of the 6th. Somebody eventually will score, and that one is swung on and missed for strike number 1. The Bruin here on field number 5. The 2-10 matchup. 0-1 the count here on Barella. Swing and a miss. That may have actually been foul tipped into the glove. Nonetheless, it was a swing and a miss. The glove for strike 2. 1 away here. 0-2 the count here on Barella. As she takes that one outside, 1-2. Escalera kicks some dirt away and now fires the pitch. Held back towards the wall, and it's gone! The breakthrough in the 4th. A solo shot from Jasmine Barella. And the Saints take an early 1-0 lead. Bound to break through, and it's the Mount Hood Saints. They left as Jasmine Barella knocked home a solo shot It's her 9th home run of the year. And the first pitch to Hope Burke is down low, ball 1. And the Saints take here in the bottom of the 4th. A 1-0 advantage. But could that have sparked some momentum? As Burke fouls that one back, 1-1. Barella had flown out to left field. She almost had the grand slam back. And that one is back at the wall. And that one is gone. Hope Burke with a solo shot, and the Saints lead 10. The screams from the Mount Hood dugout as Hope Burke flies one into left field, and for the Mount Hood Saints, back-to-back home runs to be after a pop out from Peyton. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, as now head coach Montissa California is giving her team a little pep talk. And I believe we are going to have no pitch. Looked like for a moment we might have had a pitching change, but Escalera stays in. So now here is Sarah Martin, and she's dangerous. She had back-to-back home runs against Yakima Valley, and here with who knows what she can do. First pitch to Martin is just low, and it's 1-0 pitch to Martin. High, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. The count here to Sarah Martin after back-to-back home runs. Can Sarah Martin keep the spark? The pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. Martin did her duties in game 1 earlier today. Back-to-back home runs. 1 to start the inning and 1 later in the inning. She was responsible for 3 of the 8 runs Mount Hood scored as she takes. And this is a dangerous count for this player. Sarah Martin tries to maybe give the Saints back-to-back home runs. And the pitch. Out of play, and that will load the count full. We'll find out here on this pitch unless it's another foul ball. We'll either have 2 outs, a base runner, or a 3-0 Mount Hood lead. It'll be one of those 3 or a foul ball. And it's a dribbler in, or it's a line drive into center. And it's a 1-out single for Sarah Martin. Let's now have a base runner after the back-to-back home runs. So now Brenna Wilson. Brenna Wilson, who flew out to right field. And the first pitch to her is in for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch to Wilson is down. 1-1. One pitch now here to Brenna Wilson. Fouls that one back, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes here on Brenna Wilson with Sarah Martin on first. 2-0 Saints in the bottom of the 4th as one way foul, and again the Saints hit one. stand is that roof probably has taken a beating over the years. We'll do it again. 1-2 the count on Brenna Wilson. Only one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Saints now on top 2-0. As that one in the dirt. 2-2. Two and two on Brenna Wilson to pitch. Outside in the count 4. Three balls, 2 strikes here on Brenna Wilson. And the pitch. Dribbled the third. Throw to second. And that one cannot be made. Sarah Martin is safely on second. Brenna Wilson on the board with only one out. So an error there made by third base. On the bases, as well as Brenna Wilson. Martin on second, Wilson on first, as that brings us back to the top of the lineup and Ava Carroll. First pitch to Carroll, up high, ball 1. One 0 pitch to Carroll is just outside to next pitch to Carroll is in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike here on Ava Carroll as she pops that one back here at us, and it's 2-2. Special thanks to the fence for keeping us from being hit by that ball. The dog chants from the Mount Hood dugout as Carroll faces a 2-2, and she went around, struck her out. So 2 down here in the fourth. 2-0 lead. Brockmiller will try to keep this at bat alive for the Saints with 2 runners on and 2 outs and a 2-0 lead. First pitch to Brockmiller is inside, but 1. No 1 count, and that one is over the head of the catcher. Martin will head to third, and Wilson will head to second. And no stay there. Sarah Martin thought about running home. Decided to stay at third. So now 1-1 the count here on Brockmiller. And the pitch. In for a strike, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch up high, 2-2. Brockmiller is 2 for 2 so far with a 2-2 as she lifts that one into right center, and that one drops for a base hit. Second, she's heading for third. The throw to third, not there. A 2-out triple. 2 RBI triple for Izzy Brockmiller, and the Saints go on top 4-0. Was waiting for the right pitch, and she finally found it as Sarah Martin and Brenna Wilson both come in to score. And the Saints now on top 14, as now we get to Madison Walker. As Madison Walker is hit by the pitch, and now that puts runners on the corners. So Izzy Brockmiller is the runner on third, the runner on first, after being drilled by the pitch. Here is Gina Allen. And that one is down for ball one. Want to know the count here on Allen as she takes that strike, and it's 1-1. One and one the count. Allen lifts one into center field. That one back towards the fence, but not far enough, and the catch is made out in center to end the inning. So the catch there is made by, and after 4, it's the Saints 4 and the Hawks 0. Raquel Palmiera lead things off here in the top of the 5th. Down 4-0 out of the Hawks, who have not beaten the Saints this season. 0-2 against them, as that one is taken for ball one upstairs. I'm sorry, that was actually a strike. So now that one is a ball, and it's 1-1. I saw the pitch is up high. I did not see the signal. Count is 1-1 here on Palmiera. Carrazzo fires again, and that's 2 balls and a strike. Now here, Palmiera, ready, swing, and a miss. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The leadoff batter here in the 5th. Carrazzo upstairs and the count full. Four nothing. 3-2. The pitch down low and a leadoff walk to start the 5th. So now a runner aboard for the Christopher. Christopher 1 for 1 thus far with a single back in inning number 2. Is to bring the Hawks a little bit closer. Trailing 4-0 after going. Brockmiller almost had it in her glove, but it ends up on the ground. And it's 0-1. Oh, 1 the count here. With a runner aboard here in the top of the 5th. The pitch on its way high. Throw back to first, and they got her. A delayed reaction from the first place umpire, Willie Newman. But she is indeed out, and that is the first of the 5th. The pitch was outside, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And the next pitch on. Two ball here, the count. And that one is in for a called strike, and the count now 2-2 on Christopher. Two and two. Up high and the count full. Three and two. The count is Kaylee Christopher as Carrazzo readies and sets for the next pitch. And it's fouled back, so we'll do it again. Three balls, 2 strikes. And now time is called. Christopher asks for time. Steps back into the box. Carrazzo 2, and that one up high, and a 1-out walk. Back-to-back walks, in fact, for Carrazzo. As that'll bring up Bailey Hassenbiller. Then the Hawks up. Kaylee Christopher on first. Have not gotten a run here in this game as she pops that one up, and that one way foul. And oh, what a catch made by the fan as he corrals it with 2 hands and throws it into the field. By the fan there, protecting it from being hit by a rogue bounce as that one is dribbled into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Hope Burke fields that one, throws it back to short, and now the One out here in the fifth. So some late life here for Columbia Basin. As that brings up Peyton Dressler. Dressler 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Third. See what she can do here in the fifth. Carrazzo ready, fires it, and that one is lifted foul, and it's 0-1. Oh, 0-1 the count on Dressler as Carrazzo readies another pitch, fires it, and that one's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Oh, 0-2. 0-2 the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out aboard for the Hawks as a base hit could drive in a run as that one is lifted into right field. Brenna Wilson is underneath and she makes the catch. And heading to third is Christopher, but would still have an opportunity to get out of a huge jam. So now here is Anna Marie Schaefer, the designated hitter, and the final batter in the lineup before we return to the top, and Alexis Blankenship. If we get there, there are 2 outs. Hawks. Carrazzo sets, and that one up high, ball 1. Ball, no strikes, the count on Schaefer as she takes that one up high, 2-0. The count on Schaefer. Inside for a called strike, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike on Schaefer. Runners on the corners as that one pulled back, and the count 3-1. A walk here would not hurt the Saints. We help them because it would make the force at any base for out. 3-1 pitch inside for a called strike, and the count now full. It was a delayed reaction from home plate umpire. Schaefer, who was halfway to first, that was ball 4, has to come back. So 3-2 the count now as Carrazzo readies and fires as that one is. And so we'll do it again. Count now full. Schaefer, runners on the corners. Carrazzo readies. And that one is just a bit low. And now the bases are loaded. So that brings us to the top of the lineup once again. Alexis Blankenship. Kaylee Christopher on third. Bailey Hassenbiller. And now Anna Marie Schaefer on first. Will we see some runs for the Hawks before this half inning comes to an end, or will the Saints get out of a bases loaded jam? Pitch is taken for a called strike, and it's 0-1. You'll have to excuse my stuttering. I've been up since 8:30 this morning. 7:30, I should say. Actually, I had to be here by 8:30 for the Saints' first game at 10 o'clock. 0-1 the count. Yes, 0-2. Hawks looking to maybe drive in some runs, but the Saints have other ideas. The bases are loaded, but it's an 0-2 count. Blankenship. The pitch from Carrazzo up high. One. What could turn into a huge opportunity. Relief for the Saints. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count here on Blankenship. As Carrazzo readies and fires again. And that one's in there. Called strike 3. Out of a huge jam. And down, bases loaded. And the Saints survive. Still not a single run as we head to the bottom half of the 5th. Saints still on top 4-zip. Fans, next weekend, the top 8 NWAC baseball teams will meet in Longview as the NWAC baseball tournament gets started in Kelso. Who will come out on top? It's the NWAC baseball tournament at Lower Columbia Community College. Here at the softball tournament, we got some good games going on right now, and especially this one. It was a nail biter through 3.5 until the Saints broke through in the bottom 4 runs. And they now hold a 4-0 lead and themselves 12 outs away, or 9 outs away, or 6 outs away, I should say, from going 2-0 to start the tournament. I was thinking of total outs left in the game, but total outs left for Mount Hood to get against Columbia Basin. They would have the 6th and the 7th, 3 outs apiece, meaning 6 outs. Leading off here and taking ball 1 down low. Is Peyton Foreman. Count here as that one hits the elbow and the shin pad, as now that will send Peyton Foreman to first base on the hit pitch. So Jasmine Barella had a home run back in the 4th. She's 1 for 2 as she flew out to left field back in the 1st. See what she can do here in her 3rd plate appearance of this game. First pitch is lifted up high, and that one's going to get out of play, foul, and almost caught, but just a bit short. Trying to make the catch was one of the Columbia Basin fans over on the first base side. So 0-1 the count here on Jasmine Barella with Peyton Foreman on first to start the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss. Barella down 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count here on Allen. And that one up high. Count now 1-2. Saints looking to add insurance as Barella fouls that one over the first base side. And we'll do it again. Hits. As she faces a 1-2 count now, and the pitch down in the dirt, 2-2. Two and two. And that one dribbled foul back towards the Mount Hood dugout. And so she'll do it again. Barella now 2-2. 1 for 2 in this. Runner on first, and that pitch up high in the count 4. Three balls and 2 strikes on Barella. Swing and a miss for out number 1. So now that brings up Hope Burke. She had a home run back in the 4th. Off that back-to-back from both Jasmine Barella and Hope Burke. Was contributed 2 of the 4 Mount Hood runs thus far in this game. They will play tomorrow at 12:30 against either Southwest or Wenatchee Valley. But it would be cool to see a Southern Division rivalry once again, the 5th meeting between the two. Burke foul will go into the outfield. High left field. And 1. Owen won the count here with 1 down and a runner on. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Oh and 2 the count here on Hope Burke, and the pitch is lifted into left field. The part of the fence that droops down a little bit. Got a team in a huddle over in right field behind the fence. Not sure who that is. Perhaps a team that has a game on this. Fouls that one again down the left field line. Take a look at the bracket. We do have some 6 o'clock games. And on field 5, we do. It's actually the winner of Lower Columbia and Douglas against Spokane. We'll have to see those results early. As the 0-2 to Burke is outside for ball 1. We saw Lower Columbia early playing on the field we were playing on earlier this morning, and they were wearing dark uni, so I'm assuming that is Spokane. One goes over the head of the catcher, and stealing second safely is Peyton Foreman. It's another Hope Burke. Again, only 1 out here in the bottom of, and the Saints with a 4-0 lead. Escalera. And Hope Burke fouls out. And we'll do it again. 2-2 the count. Burke 1 for 2. And now 1 for 3 as she strikes out swinging for out number 2. So that'll bring up Sarah Martin. And Sarah Martin, 1 for 2 so far, a double and a strikeout. 2 outs with a runner aboard. Pitch to Martin. Swing and a miss. 0-1. No balls and a strike. Sarah Martin inside 1-1. Sarah Martin trying to drive Peyton Foreman home. She's on second. And that one in for a called strike. 1-2 now on Sarah Martin. And now the Hawks a pitch away from coming in sixth. 1-2 pitch to Martin. Inside 2-2. Foreman looks to take a lead from second. Martin the 2-2 just a bit low, and the count now full. Waiting for the right one. It will have to be this. 3-2. Martin. Dribbler to the pitcher. Here's the throw to first, and that will end the inning. So Martin with a little dribbler to the pitcher for out number 3. The Saints still hold a 4-0 lead.
Leading off the top of the 6th for CBC, number 6, Stephanie.
Stephanie Bryson will lead things off here in the top half of the 6th as the Hawks still looking for some runs. And the first pitch from Carrazzo is in for a called strike. 0-1. A couple of updates on the tournament side. Lower Columbia defeating Douglas earlier today, 13-6. So they advance. They will play Spokane, who outlasted Everett 4-3. That was a very close game. As we have that one called for a strike now, it's 0-2. Columbia and Spokane will be the next game on this field. It's a 6 o'clock first pitch, also known as when this game is over. Carrazzo fires it down low, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch is up high, 2-2. We have a good game going on next to us on field 4. Right now, the 6th seed Wenatchee Valley leads the number 3 seed Southwest Oregon 4-2. That one's in the top of the 6th. Also in the top of the 6th, Walla Walla leading Chemeketa 7-1. As now we have a 2-2 as that one popped up and heading towards foul territory is Brenna Wilson, but she's not going to get there as it goes out of play. So it's 2-2. We'll do it again. Clackamas defeated Edmonds earlier today, 9-8 or 9-3 the final. So they advance in the winner's bracket. As the 2-2 pitch is into center field, calling for it is Carroll, and she's got it for out number 1. So Clackamas will play North Idaho as they took care of Grays Harbor today, 9-1 in 5 innings. That was the 1v16 matchup. So in the winners bracket, you have Mount Hood and Columbia Basin going on right now, as well as Wenatchee Valley and Southwest Oregon. Later, you will have Lower Columbia against Spokane as the first pitch in called strike on Crick. And then Clackamas and Idaho will play on field 4 at 6 o'clock. 0-1 the count here on Lauren Crick as she takes that one outside for ball 1. One ball, one strike, the pitch to Crick. Did she go? She did. It's 1-2. Pitch outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, the pitch to Crick as that one fouled back. And we'll do it again. 2-2. Carrazzo readies and fires, and that one dribbler into center field, gets through for a base hit, rounding first and staying there. So Crick with a single here in the 6th.
Number 5.
Bree Waldron. Look at the consolation bracket, see if already somebody is heading home. As it doesn't seem like any of those games have ended yet. Yakima Valley leads Treasure Valley 9-0. That's in the... No, that one has gone final. So Treasure Valley is heading back home to Ontario as they fall to Yakima Valley 9-0 in 5 innings. First pitch was up high to Waldron for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to count. And the pitch side called for a strike, 1-1. So Yakima Valley advances to 10 o'clock tomorrow. Well, they will play the winner of Walla Walla and Chemeketa, and right now Walla Walla leads that game 7-1 at the top of the 6th. trying to make a play for it, and she can't get it. So 1-2 the count, as it was just out of reach for Peyton Foreman to make the play at first. But now 1 ball and 2 strikes the count here on 1 here in the top of the 6th. Runner on first. Saints holding on to a 4-0 lead as that one lifted out into left. Burke is back, and she can't make the catch. Goes off her glove to the wall. Throw to third is not going to be in time, and it's a 1 for Bree Waldron to put runners on second in scoring position for Columbia Basin. And we have a meeting at the mound. And it does not look like we are going to get a pitching change. But now a late spark for the runners in scoring position, second and third, only 1 out. Bella Carrazzo stays on the mound for the Saints. So that now brings up Raquel Palmiera. She has a strikeout and a walk. So both her at-bats were ended by the pitcher. 1 good and 1 bad. Third, 1 out, and the pitch. Bunted down the line. Here's the throw. They're going to let everyone stay safe. And now we have somebody doubled up, and the tag is going to be applied there for out number 2. There was a little bit of confusion, and now we have a play at third that's not going to be made. As sliding into third, that is Crick. No, I'm sorry. Was tagged out going home. So Eldrin at third and Palmiera at first. So a little bit of a fielder's choice there and very confusing on, but got it all sorted away. The tag applied by Bella Carrazzo on Lauren Crick for out number 2. So now the Saints get the first out. Not throw to first right away. Noticed guard and was able to apply the tag. Looking forward to the next matchup, whether it will be against So now we have some discussion going on. All 3 umpires are going to get together and they're going to discuss something. Waldron slid into third before the throw got there. She was holding up Crick. Crick had nowhere to go. So she was tagged out. So everything stays the same after everything. And we will continue. So here's Christopher. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Runners on the corners for the Hawks. Saints get out of a jam once again. Carrazzo sets, fires it inside for strike 1. And 1 the count here to Christopher. And the pitch from Carrazzo is outside, ball 1. 4-0 Saints here for the 6th. But the Hawks threatening. Carrazzo fires outside. 2-1. Hawks trying to spark some late momentum. Neither of these teams have lost, but they will be sent down to the consolation bracket as that one back. 2-2. So now Carrazzo is a pitch away from getting out of, and the Saints will go bat in the bottom of the 6th. Perhaps their last time batting in this game, holding on to a 4-0 lead. They did not have to bat in the 7th in game 1. They had a and swing and a miss. Struck her out, and the once again get out of a huge jam, and that will end the half inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Saints looking to add some insurance. They lead 4-0. We got a nail biter on field number 4. The Southwest Oregon Lakers have now pulled within a run. It's 4-3. Bottom 6. Brenna Wilson leads this game. Will we have a Southern Division rematch? Southwest Oregon Lakers and Mount Hood Saints, or will we have the Wenatchee Knights if Mount Hood can hold this lead and advance to tomorrow? Brenna Wilson takes ball 1 down low. And the count 1-0 here to start the 6th. Saints, as that pitch is outside. So now the Wilson. Brenna Wilson now with a 2-0, and she dribbles that one foul, and it's 2-1. There's a lot of commotion going on field 4. Can't tell if it's Southwest Oregon celebrating or it's teams will be playing the Mount Hood Saints tomorrow either at 10 o'clock or at 12:30. It'll be 12:30 if the Saints hold on and win as Brenna Wilson takes strike 1 down the middle, or strike 2 down the middle, I should say, and the count 2-2. Two on Brenna Wilson. Down in the dirt, 3-2. So the count full here on Wilson. Leadoff batter here, bottom half of the 6th. Saints trying to add a little more insurance and stay unbeaten in the tournament going into tomorrow. And that one's caught out at shortstops. The catch there by Kaylee Christopher for out number 1. As that will bring us to the top of the lineup once again, and Ava Carroll. Ava Carroll is 1 for 3 so far, a single, a ground out, or a bunt out, and a strikeout. As she takes strike 1 down the middle. 1. 0-1 the pitch. Carroll fouls it back. Going to the count here on Ava Carroll. The pitch. Dribbled out to second. The throw to first is there, and there's 2 down. 2 up, 2 down so far for the Saints here in the bottom half of the 6th, as that brings up Izzy Brockmiller. She's 3 for 3 so far, with 3 singles. As she takes ball 1 inside, and the count 1-0. Here on Brockmiller as she pops that one up and not into the of the catcher, as that one is just out of reach, and so she will head back. 1-1 the count. Brockmiller with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Saints with a 4-0 lead. 1-1 pitch. One is up high, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike here on Brockmiller as she center coming on, and the catch cannot be made. Brockmiller and she's there standing, trying to make the play out in center was Bryson, but she could not make. Brockmiller with a 2-out double keeps the batting order alive, as that brings us to Madison Walker. Runner on second, that's Brockmiller. Walker into the glove of Baseman, as the catch is made there. Chip. And we head to the 7th, the final 3 out for the Hawks. Can they emerge and score 4 to tie it, or will the Saints still be unbeaten in this tournament? We find out in a little bit.
Leading off the top of the 7th for the Hawks. Number 20, Haley Carpenter.
Another final, Walla Walla defeats Chemeketa 9-1. So Chemeketa, the Storm, are going to be heading home. And Walla Walla will be taking on the loser of the next game on this field between Lower Columbia and Spokane. Top 7, which is called for a strike on Bailey Hosson. And the count 0-1. NWAC Player of the Week just a week or so ago has now looking to pitch a complete game as she stays in here in the 7th. Foul tip into the glove, and it's 0-2. So the Saints looking to try and continue their hot streak in this tournament, as that one is popped up into center, and Ava Carroll is on it for out number one. So the 2 outs away from defeating that will bring up Peyton Dressler. As she swings and misses at the first pitch strike, and the count 1. It is getting intense over on field 4. The Southwest Oregon Lakers, who are down 4-2, have come back and tied. 7th inning. It's 4-4 between Wenatchee Valley and Southwest Oregon, as that pitch is just a bit outside on Dressler, and the count 1-1. Again, keeping track of that game, as the Mount Hood Saints, assuming they can hold this result for 2 more outs, will get the winner of that game. Will it be another rematch with Southwest Oregon, or will it be a match with Wenatchee Valley? It's tight over there on field 4. That pitch popped up, play, foul, and it's 1-2. Hubbard Hensley continues to provide us updates as we thank him for it. It's getting close. Hopefully that game will end at the same time this one, so we can announce to you who his opponent will be tomorrow, as that pitch is up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It will be one of those 2 teams. We just don't know yet. We are finding out in real time who it is. Carrazzo sets the 2-2 out and up high, and now the count is full. Dressler faces a full count. Carrazzo looks, now fires. Inside, called strike 3, and there's 2 down. So now the Saints are an out away. Schaefer. As Carrazzo sets, and the pitch is up high. And it's 1-0. Can Schaefer keep the Hawks alive? Outside, 2-0. Carrazzo trying to finish a complete game. Would be a shutout if she can do it. She's given up a few hits, so it's no hitter. Or it's not a no hitter, as that one catches the inside corner, and it's 2-1. Saints, the 4-0 lead. They will play at 12:30 if they can get one more out. And now we have another softball on the field. I'm assuming it's from the field next to us. So, of course, now we have to give. Two and one the count on Schaefer. 2 down, top 7. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2, and the Saints are a strike away from defeating the Hawks. 2-0 against the Hawks this season. Will they make it 3-0? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Carrazzo up high in the count full. Well, it'll be this pitch. Game over, hit, or foul ball. One of three. Which will it be? Carrazzo, the pitch, swing and a miss. The Saints shut out the Hawks. A 4-0 here in Game 11 of the NWAC softball tournament. And the Saints get their second win of the day to Friday afternoon against either Southwest Oregon or Wenatchee Valley. That game's still going on right now. We don't know who the opponent will be. It will be the winner of that game on Field 4 at 30 tomorrow. We will have that one for you live. Once again, the final score, Saints 4, Hawks 0. Thanks for listening to of Mount Hood softball at the NWAC Softball Championship Tournament. Sure was fun to bring it to you, and we're back tomorrow.